Alrighty, so I know I don't normally do things in front of the camera unless it's a live stream or something has happened. Well, I think it probably is a good idea for me to go ahead and do that kind of in front of the camera thing right now. I've got a couple reasons for that. First of all, recent events. Um, so about a month ago now, something like that, beginning of April, my channel was stolen. You guys probably noticed there was not a lot of uploads from my channel during that time, and then of course I got the channel back after 15, 16 days, something like that. Several things happened during the course of that, like the channel getting deleted, the channel's name getting changed to Suris Subi Gaming, a month's worth of content getting deleted. A lot of stuff that was just really stressful on top of the fact that the channel was gone. Um, so that wasn't really great, but I do have the channel back. Obviously, I've been uploading to my channel. Though I don't necessarily have my paycheck from this month, I don't think, mainly because when they stole the channel, they stole the AdSense as well. That has not been given back to me quite yet, though I have my channel. Luckily, again, we are at least in a situation where we were able to get a little bit of money, both from patrons and from the United States' stimulus check thing, even though that's nothing compared to Canada's. But that's not what we're here to talk about right now. What we're going to talk about right now is the fact that, one, these recent events happened. So if you were not aware that this happened, you were not paying attention to the Twitter because you don't follow me there, the Discord because you're not part of that, or you happen to have not seen the secondary channel that I got set up to give updates about this, then now you know. Channel was stolen. I have it back. Hunky-dory. That's why there was a drought of episodes. This is leading to some other issues as well. One of them, the biggest major one, being the fact that since the channel was stolen, the ad revenue's gone for now. We should be able to get that back. I'm talking with Google about getting that back. They needed to literally have a thing that showed me trying to log into my AdSense account and failing multiple times. They needed me to record that to send that to them. So, there we are. But that's on me. It didn't occur to me that the AdSense would not come with the channel. The AdSense is still connected to the channel, but it does not seem to be connected to either my bank account or to any email that I have for the time being. That, I think, was a security measure that Google put in place because they knew that the channel had been yanked away from me. Anyway, that's not important. We're still fine financially. None of that is important. That's just me laying down the final updates in the fun but not really fun saga of the channel being stolen and reappropriated. The next thing is that I made some mistakes. On Monday's video, I made a video about God belief. Now, there are a few things in the video that I still hold to, and a few things that I need to fix. For one, I got validity and soundness mixed up in such a way that it wasn't just reversing them. No, I'd said an argument is valid if all the premises are true, and it sounded if the premises are true and the conclusion is true. That's not how it works at all. Validity refers only to structure. So if an argument is valid if you give me a syllogism, you give me an argument, and the conclusion necessarily follows from the premises, not necessarily that they are individually true. It's about the structure of the argument. If it's formulated correctly, when all the premises are true, the conclusion must be true, then that is when it is valid. Now, whether or not these things all line up properly and then things are actually true, that's when we determine whether or not an argument is sound. That is the difference there. It's not about the conclusion being true or not. Validity is about structure. A valid argument is about if I've structured it properly, not if I've said more true things than false things in it or whatever. I don't know how I got that mixed up in the video itself. I think the biggest factor is maybe just carryover stress. We've been doing work around the house to get that kind of picked up recently, and I waited until the very last second to get the video done, so obviously there were a bunch of errors in it. Not only did I get syllogisms incorrect, I also got another couple things incorrect in there, like some graphical glitches, which, if y'all are fans of the channel, you know those happen from time to time. But this one, I built a lot of stuff as opposed to grabbing assets elsewhere, and in so doing, glitched myself out a lot. That's on me. That video is not up to the quality that I expect on my channel right now, so I have taken it down. Not because I'm ashamed of making mistakes. Normally I don't take videos down, but because that video specifically had a quick lesson on syllogisms and the lesson was wrong, I don't want to have released a video where I'm giving information and that information is false, and it is not something that is easily rectifiable. If it is something like a fact check, I can put in an addendum a fact check and say, hey, I got this fact wrong. But if it's something about, if it's something foundationally, right? Like how to form a syllogism, how they work, what is a valid and sound argument. These are things that we consider foundations when you are talking philosophy. If I am putting out information that is incorrect and somebody could create a false foundation based on that, foundation for their epistemology, how they determine what they do and don't believe, what they justify, etc. If I am presenting information that screws with that, I'm potentially screwing somebody up far more than just giving them a bit of information that is slightly incorrect or framed incorrectly that I could have done better elsewise. Like if we're talking something political and I miss a fact or something like that, I think screwing with somebody's epistemological foundation is a little more damaging in that it's a lot harder to work yourself out of an improper foundation. So if I do a video on syllogisms again, it's likely going to be a dedicated video, not a minute segment in a video that's about something completely different. That way I don't mess it up for somebody in the future again. The point that I wanted to make in the video was that there is this idea in the atheist community, not the entire atheist community, it's some individual actors in the atheist community who seem to think things like religion's a mental illness or God belief is a mental illness. There's no way possibly God can be real in any way, shape, or form, so it's a bad belief just on those merits alone. There are some people who don't form the syllogism that way, and they noted that to me in the comment section. Some said that I was straw-manning, but the thing is that I don't think I was necessarily straw-manning, because for me to straw-man, one, it has to be intentional. For two, if I am straw-manning something, it is me saying that all atheists do this, or I'm straw-manning an individual and their perspective. The fact of the matter is there are individuals that form the syllogism incorrectly, and those are the people who I'm talking about. Having the syllogism formed correctly doesn't suddenly make you correct as well. You may have things valid, but you may still not be sound. Yay, fun syllogism lesson. So I think the point being, the takeaway from that video that I wanted, and I guess I'll voice it right now, is that if you are deconstructing somebody's belief, you're not to put a cart before the horse. Do not say that their God belief is wrong because they believe in a god or they believe in a sky fairy or whatever. If you want to throw shots just to make fun of somebody and your only goal is to make fun of them, that's fine. I don't think it's very useful. I don't think it gets you anywhere. Mockery only goes so far. You usually put people on the defensive when you're mocking. Though sometimes mockery is warranted. If somebody is so far into the Poe's Law category, then yeah, maybe mockery is probably the best thing to go with something like that. But when it's just strictly God belief, making fun of that doesn't do very much good, whereas deconstructing the reasons why somebody believes something would be a good way to do it. For instance, if somebody was believing in God because their parents told them that God was real, then we're not using a justification for God that's any higher or worse than justification for any belief at all that a parent could give you. This is why it's called an argument from authority fallacy. Your parent's an authority. You're choosing the truth statement based on their authority, but it's not necessarily a true statement. Their authority has nothing to do with whether or not the statement's true. So the takeaway mainly is, if you are to deconstruct somebody's beliefs, please look at how their beliefs are structured. Do not simply rely on an idiom or rely on a catchphrase or anything like that. Figure out the reasons why they believe in a God. And most importantly, if you're an atheist, please figure out the reasons why you don't believe in a God. You may find that you consider yourself a type of global atheist, but in reality, local atheism only applies to you. Or you might find that actually you don't have a positive assertion. We're talking philosophically, specifically right now, not colloquially. You might find that you don't have any positive assertions against God belief, but you most certainly do not find them justified and can't give yourself a belief that way. You might find yourself more in an agnostic category. And And then when you're dealing with theists, you may deal with a young Earth creationist who appeals to the authority of Ken Ham or Kent Hovind or their parents. You might be dealing with a pagan who is a folkist. And folkists just so happen to also be racist, misogynist buttholes. You may be dealing with a Muslim that believes that ISIS has the correct way. In each of these instances, you want to deconstruct not only the God belief, but also everything that is entailed by that, because it might be that their belief is foundationally proportionate to the God belief. But then again, if there's a Christian who creates a vaccine because they think that it's their calling from God to do so, I would not necessarily attack that Christian. I don't have a reason to. Their God belief has yielded a positive result. At this point, I don't care. I'm a pragmatist. I care about the usefulness of things. At this point, their God belief was useful in getting them to the point where they realized that, oh, I should probably do something to help people like Jesus would do. That I don't care about. Or you can have a pagan who decides that they want to lose weight because they want to become healthy, because they feel they will be able to better embody the ideals transposed on them by a god such as Odin. I don't see any problem with that as well. That's them literally just improving themselves. Taking away that foundation doesn't do anything good for that particular person. It's only when there are negative issues ascribed to that belief. And you have to evaluate those things individually. You can't blanket brush people. You can't say all pagans, all Christians, all Muslims, etc. Do the work, do the legwork, do your due diligence. If you're going to be part of this conversation, which I implore you to, I'm part of it, so I'm here on YouTube, please do the right work, do your job, epistemologically speaking, argumentatively speaking. Do what you need to do. And that leads into the final thing. So, announcements for the channel. So, the first thing, obviously, is that with the channel coming back to me, I'm using this as an opportunity because I had 2 weeks where I wasn't able to do any work and I wasn't in the right mindset to do any work. So, I just did housework at that time. I just did house cleaning, cleaning up outside. We planted a potato garden, which, I mean, a pandemic helps with that. I want to grow food at the house so that in case something happens with the markets here for whatever reason, we're still taken care of. So we have potato gardens. Me and Aaron planted that. We have onions and other such things. None of that's terribly important right now. What's important is that gave me a little time to self-reflect. And I realized that I've been burning myself out on this channel. My enthusiasm for the topics that I deal with has gone significantly down. And that may have played a part in me not doing my due diligence and checking myself in how arguments are constructed, which is a very basic thing that I should know, and I did know it, but apparently my brain just fudged it. No excuse, but... So, the two things that I'm going to be doing to mitigate that burnout, because I still want to make content on this channel. There are patrons who are paying for content on this channel, and I did this for a reason. And that reason is that I see issues in the world that I want to tackle, and I want to make the world a better place. And I don't think I can do that from just sitting on the sidelines or taking potshots at people on Twitter. I think that actually having a platform where there's a face and somebody that you can maybe relate to is pointing out issues with certain stances. That, I think, is more relatable than me doing most other things. That's not going to stop. The things that are going to stop, though. I am not going to be doing 5 uploads a week anymore. You guys probably noticed that I started slipping on that anyway. That's a product of that burnout. What I was doing was releasing a live stream on Monday, 2 videos, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, then a live stream on Thursday. If it was hammered out, awesome. If it was not hammered out, I would do something else. And then I would do another video on Monday, and I would give myself a weekend off. Or another video on Friday, and then give myself the weekend off. What actually ended up happening was several times I would not get a stream topic until 30 minutes before the stream started. I would not get a video topic ready until the video was just... It needed to be uploaded right then. This is the reason why the video did not come out on Monday the way that I wanted it, because I constructed it on Sunday with very little time. I sent it to a friend of mine to get reviewed, Callan, and they caught the issue with the argument, so I redid it real quick in post, and it ended up being really sloppy, and then I think I made it worse by redoing that bit in post on top of that. So, to alleviate the burnout, I'm going down to 3 videos. But this does not mean necessarily that you guys are getting less content. There will just be a different variety of content. This channel will still be what it always has been. Social issues, atheism, religion, politics, etc. None of that's going away. That's staying here. However, the gaming channel, I'm going to be working on a gaming channel as well, and gaming content is going to be uploaded there in an ideal world once a week. I have a couple videos that are being released about Resident Evil 3, the remake that just came out, and then I've also got another Sonic the Hedgehog video that's going up over there soon as well. That one's going to be a collaboration with the Game Apologist, and there's also going to be another collaboration on that channel with the Gaming Goomba about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. So if that's content that you're into, then a link to that channel will be in the description below, and we will figure out where we go from there. So, that said, the last thing that I want to point out is that this house does not only have one channel associated with it, or technically two if you count my gaming channel. Raz, one of my partners, actually has a channel as well, and it is called Creepy Eevees, where she does things like SCP readings, and she also does a series right now called The Wonders of BioShock. So if you're a fan of the BioShock series, it's a breakdown of different story elements within that game. Different characters, different locations, deep lore, stuff like that. That is all stuff that she handles over there. And I will be doing collaborations with her on that channel after I've gotten my gaming channel built up a little bit more. And then the other thing is my partner, Aaron, has a channel. And that channel is Aaron's Chair. It is about disability awareness. If you are disabled or you don't know what it's like to have disabilities and you want a perspective on how that causes somebody to function in their day-to-day life, and also, generally speaking, she'll be doing debunking videos of people over there as well whenever people say nightmarishly stupid stuff. We know that there's at least a little bit of cross-pollination from my type of content to the type of content that would happen there, because we have a lot of religious people, like Steven Anderson, for instance, who end up being very ableistic. So there's a bit of cross-pollination there. So, if that is content that you're into, then by all means, go check out Aaron's channel. But the links to Raz's channel, Aaron's channel, and my gaming channel are all going to be in the description. And the video on Monday, probably not going to be re-uploaded because like I said, unlike other videos, I feel like that video can actually cause some damage by causing people to build epistemologies that just don't lead anywhere truthful. They don't lead to truth. If that is what people construct as a result of that, then that would be my fault, and I would not be very happy with that. I already deal with enough people who have really, really flawed foundations already, and that's why I made my channel in the first place. So I don't want to be a contributor to somebody else having really bad foundational anything. Any other announcements on this video? I have a collaboration with Apologia coming up, the part 2 of the video that we already did. We should be doing a recording of that sometime this week, and I can't think if there's anything else, but just note, videos, they'll be coming out on this channel on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and they should, in an ideal world, be coming out about 11 o'clock a.m. every single one of those days. When Hammered Out happens on Thursday, that'll be an awesome thing that I'll be happy for, but if Hammered Out is not going to happen, then I'm not going to be doing a live stream on this channel. That's because live streams are going to be contained over at Twitch, unless I have a topic that I think would be better suited to a live stream, in which case it will happen on either the Monday, the Wednesday, or the Friday. There's not a dedicated live stream day now besides the occasional Thursday. And when live streams happen, they should be happening at 11 a.m. as well. I'm going to try to stick to that particular schedule, because while I'm rebuilding my channel from it getting hijacked, maintaining a schedule is one of the few things I can do on my end so that the YouTube algorithm actually favors me. Again, maybe, hopefully, in an ideal world. So, it has been now 20 minutes, and this is certainly not the type of video I normally try to do, but hopefully you guys stuck around, and if you did, please think about commenting, subscribing, Patreon, going to the other channels that I'm linking down below, any of that stuff. If that's the case, awesome. If you guys don't do any of that, then I at least thank you for watching up until this point. You wouldn't be able to hear this unless you did, unless you fast-forwarded, which would be kind of weird. But now I'm rambling, officially. So, as always, everyone, insert end of video tagline here, and thank you for going on this crazy ride with me. It has been a bit of a nightmare, but everybody's living their own separate, individual, isolated nightmares right now thanks to COVID-19, so... Oh, I just demonetized this video. Anyway, see you guys.